Haribol, Namaste.
Om Mani Om, Om Mani Om, Om Mani Om, Om Mani Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Hari Om. Om Hari Om, Om Hari Om, Om Hari Om, Om Hari Om. Om Hari Om, Om Hari Om. Om Hari Om, Om Hari Om. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Lakshmana. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Parima. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare.
Today we are going to read, it's about the Lord's pastimes out of Vrindavan. Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Part 1, translated and purported by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Siraswarananda Paramahamsa Bhaja Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare. Text 28, translation. Thereafter, they offered the Brahmanas highly delicious foodstuffs, which were first offered to the personality of Godhead, and they offered their respectful obeisances by touching their heads to the ground. They lived perfectly by protecting the cows and the Brahmanas. Purport. The behavior exhibited by the descendants of Yadu in the pilgrimage site of Prabhasa was highly cultured and exactly to the point of human perfection. The perfection of human life is attained by following 3 principles of civilization. 1. Protecting the cows. 2. Maintaining the Brahminical principle. 1. Protecting the cows. 2. Maintaining the Brahminical culture. And above all, becoming a pure devotee of the Lord. Without becoming a devotee of the Lord, one cannot perfect one's human life. The perfection of human life is to be elevated to the spiritual world, where there is no birth, no death, no diseases, and no old age. That is the highest perfectional aim of human life. Without this aim, any amount of material advancement in so-called comforts can only bring the defeat of the human form of life. Brahmanas and Vaishnavas do not accept any foodstuff which is not first offered to the personality of Godhead. Foodstuff offered to the Lord is accepted by the devotees of the mercy of the Lord. After all, the Lord supplies all kinds of foodstuff, both to the human being and to other animals. A human being must be conscious of the fact that all foodstuffs, namely grains, vegetables, milk, water, etc., the prime necessities of life, they are supplied by the Lord for mankind, and such foodstuffs cannot be manufactured by any scientist or materialist in a laboratory or factory established by human effort. The intelligent class of men are called Brahmanas, and those who have realized the absolute truth in his supreme personal feature are called Vaishnavas. But both of them accept foodstuffs which are the remnants of sacrifice. Sacrifice is ultimately meant to satisfy the Yajna Purusha, Vishnu. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 13, it is said that one who accepts foodstuff as the remnants of sacrifice is freed from all sinful reactions, and one who cooks foodstuffs for maintenance of his body takes in all kinds of sins, which led only to suffering. The foodstuffs prepared by the Yadus at the Prabhasa pilgrimage site to offer to the bona fide Brahmanas there were all offered to the personality of Godhead, Vishnu. They offered their sincere obeisances by touching their heads to the ground. The Yadus or any enlightened family in Vedic culture are trained for attainment of human perfection by total cooperation of service between the different divisions of social orders. The word Uru Rasam is also significant here. Hundreds of delicacies can be prepared simply by the combination of grains, vegetables, and milk. All such preparations are in the mode of goodness and therefore can be offered to the personality of Godhead. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 26, the Lord accepts only foodstuffs which are within the range of fruits, flowers, leaves, and liquids, provided they are offered in complete devotional service. Devotional service is the only criterion for a bona fide offering to the Lord. The Lord assures that He positively eats such food or such foodstuffs The Lord assures that He positively eats such foodstuffs offered by the devotees. So, judging from all sides, the Yadus were perfectly trained civilized persons, and their being cursed by the Brahmana sages was only by the desire of the Lord. The whole incident was a warning to all concerned that no one should behave lightly with Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. So this verse is trying to explain to us about a perfection of human life displayed by the dynasty of the Yadu. And it talked about how to treat the Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas, and of course the devotee of the Lord. So those are the best example that the people in general should follow in order to attain perfection of human life. So I would like to ask Braja, my husband, of course, if he has something to add in this connection.
No, I don't.
Please, a little bit only. The one that you understand. About
Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada often talks about the social and religious orders established in the Vedas as the perfection of human life can be attained by following this Varna Ashrama system, where you have people that have certain propensities working together. You have the the workers, you have the Vaishya, the government, business people, you have the Kshatriyas, the police, the soldiers protecting the people, and then you have the Brahmanas, and they are the teachers of society, they are the spiritual teachers, and so they're giving guidance and instruction to all the other people of how to live their lives in accordance with the Vedic injunctions and instructions from Krishna, from God, from the great saints, and how we can live our lives in a way that gradually we were cultivating our love for God and devotional service. So the Brahmanas were meant to be taken care of very nicely, and so they could focus on giving spiritual instruction, and were provided with a place to live, with foodstuffs, with cows, with grains, even our wives. And this is a very nice arrangement by the Lord for society. But now we have much chaos in our society because we don't have this set up very nicely. And so our leaders are not following the spiritual teachings and guidance of Brahmanas or spiritual teachers. And we have people who are working independent of these spiritual laws. And so our society is falling into great chaos, confusion, this age of Kali. But here we're given an example of how there can be a peaceful society. So in our communities, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the previous acharyas, have set up Vaishnava communities where you can have this type of social order, and it's very nice to. We're very fortunate that we have the guidance of spiritual teachers in our lives, and we're learning how we can dovetail our different propensities, whether it be being a mother or a teacher or a businessman, how we can dovetail these propensities in the service of God, and that we can still live in the world but not be completely of the world, that we can use our skills, our talents, our money in the service of the Lord in a nice way. So we give thanks to the Brahmanas and to our spiritual masters for helping guide us in this way. Haribol.
Haribol.